Alright, so let's continue the discussion about Nintendo going on a massive copyright takedown spree recently. So we have this news right here from a few days ago. Popular Pokemon fan game creation tool disappears after Nintendo cracks down. So what ended up happening is that there's an asset kit for RPG Maker known as Pokemon Essentials, and that was removed because it's just clear violation of Pokemon copyright. Has assets, in-game things that you can just plug and play, and then you can make your own Pokemon fan game inside of RPG Maker with it. And even the developers behind Pokemon Uranium told Kotaku that without Pokemon Essentials, it would have been impossible to make Uranium or any other fan game. So that was removed because it violates copyright. But even before then, not even that long ago, within the last month, into Roblox Pokemon. So we knew back in April, Brick Bronze, the largest Pokemon base thing, the largest Pokemon infringement that was going on Roblox, that was removed in April, but there were still tons, hundreds of other games profiting off of Pokemon IP, just kind of stealing the assets or stealing the creative idea of the game. Then we have this coming from Ugly Po. Pokemon have issued a blanket takedown on all Pokemon games on the Roblox platform, so making massive, now sweeping, instead of just targeting Uranium, instead of just targeting Pixelmon, instead of just targeting Brick Bronze, now it's all fan game creation, and now it's all Pokemon on Roblox, so it just got out of control. And that brings us to the next one. Is Pokemon Showdown going to go down next? And I feel like it's gotta go. I feel like it's gotta go for many different reasons, but I mean, the first one's pretty obvious. You go into the team builder, and that's directly using Pokemon IP. They take the game sprites, they take the animations, they take the moves, they take everything about the game, and then they also create something to where, this isn't just a simulator, this is actually its own Pokemon game. That I know there's thousands, tens of thousands of people that did not buy Pokemon Sun and Moon, that did not buy Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, maybe even X and Y and Omega, Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because they found out about Pokemon Showdown first, or they were already playing Pokemon, and they say, why do I need to buy the Pokemon game? The only reason I play the game is to battle. There is a large amount of people that, sure, storyline's cool in Pokemon, and that there's a lot to the spirit of Pokemon and the franchise itself, but when you look at it, everyone that has a 999 game clock in Pokemon, what's that dedicated to? That's training, that's getting items, that's going and playing the post-game stuff that just leads into battling, when the story of the game is maybe 20 hours, depending on your experience level and how much you're playing. Could be a little shorter, could be a little longer. I was able to beat Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon in 10 hours, but I mean, that's what we're sitting at. So what people do is they make their team, they hit battle, and they never have to play Pokemon Sun and Moon, they never have to play Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and they're getting the exact same experience that they would have because they only play to go competitive. But then that's where we start getting into more problems, because Pokemon Showdown is an amazing resource. It's cool that you can go, does Alakazam get Flamethrower? No, it doesn't. Okay, now what can it use? What can it go? I can go through the moveset. You can maybe just scroll through this and get an idea, oh, I didn't know Magikarp was on Alakazam. I might be able to come up with some tech. So it's cool to just have everything in one place, build up a Pokemon, and then start doing some theory crafting and working around and figuring out how the Pokemon works. Also, EVs, IVs, natures, you can just kind of see what happens. You can kind of see what what IVs you have in your Pokemon in game. So you can do a lot of really cool stuff with it as a resource. But the problem is, it gets taken a step too far because there's hacking, there's PK Hex, there's all these ginning programs, so people, they just hit export, they drop that in, and now instead of actually playing the game as intended, they have to cheat. They have to do all these game-breaking things, and then that's kind of it. So the biggest problems about Pokemon Showdown is that it completely subverts gameplay, it completely 100% steals sales from Nintendo through its existence, and then it also encourages hacking. Because now, after you've played with your team, you make a full team of 6, you make them perfectly competitive, you don't want to, you were already playing with it, you were already having fun, you were already engaging at the peak of what you're supposed to be doing in Pokemon, so now that actually encourages cheating instead of actually working and earning your things. Also, it kind of takes out a lot of the work, that instead of actually having to do the numbers, do the math. I remember back in 4th, 5th generation, even 6th generation, before I found out about Pokemon Showdown, I was on Cerebi, I was on Bulbapedia, I was trying to look up everything, okay, what's a transfer move? Okay, what's going to be something that I can, egg move, how do I build up my breeding? How do I get the egg move going correctly? If I wanted some weird EVs, I had to do the math myself. I didn't go, is this, 180 EVs going to give me the right stat that I'm looking for to survive whatever move I might be interested in? I didn't plug and play like that. I would take these stats, because you have level 50, you have level 100, I would scale it around however I felt was needed, and then I would come up with my custom stuff like that. going into Pokemon afterwards, like, yeah, it got a lot quicker, it got a lot more insane, but then people just, instead of using it as a resource, as a tool, they use it exclusively to hack, and then as a major infringement of Pokemon gameplay. And then it spilled over into VGC. So I feel that, you know, Pokemon Showdown has enabled more cheating than anything else besides the actual cheating programs themselves, which definitely need to be taken down. You know, Michael Cyrus, he has a Twitter, and he talks about making homebrew for Switch and working on all these other things, and PK Hex and Project Pokemon. So with all that, it's like, yeah, like, I don't know how Nintendo hasn't taken that down yet. Maybe they're working on compiling something. Maybe they're going to go for a big lawsuit. I don't know, because, like, it's weird. You know, I understand Pixelmon, I understand Uranium, but we didn't see too many takedowns. But now, as we're getting into Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, as we're transitioning over to the Switch, Nintendo's starting to get more serious. You know, they're not happy that Nintendo Switch already has hacked in homebrew because of the, what is it, the NVIDIA Tegra exploits that are going on. Like, it's just hardware modification instead of just actual, like, homebrew and software and stuff like that. So now we can actually look at some of the VGC arguments, and these are coming from my Paul Ruiz video. So, Pokemon 2018 World Champion Paul Ruiz, incredibly likely that it hacked, incredible amounts of evidence supporting that he cheated his team, and instead of people saying, oh, he wouldn't cheat, they're just defending cheating itself. What's the problem about that? Cheating is necessary in Pokemon VGC, and this is kind of consensus. People say everyone knows everyone's cheating, so it's okay. No, cheating is not okay. How is this not the dumbest thing that you have ever heard? Cheating is necessary. How is this not the dumbest thing that this person has ever spoken, and these idiots lack the self-awareness to understand how bad it is? Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. But no, not in today's generation, not Generation Z, millennials that just want to go and ruin everyone's experiences because they play the mental gymnastics in their head. They just fabricate whatever idiocy they want, and they're too ignorant and they're too stupid to care about what anyone else thinks about it. They're just like, I'm right, you're wrong, and it doesn't matter that if I'm saying cheating's okay. So because you need hours to build a team without power saves or something similar, and if someone doesn't want that, I don't see any problem. Don't see any problem with disadvantaging, cheating, and hacking. That's VGC right now. To be honest, genning Pokemon isn't that bad. If it's a completely illegal set, then I get it. Other than that, no big deal. If you're going to gen, make it legal. There's no such thing as a legal cheat. Like, I don't understand where that came from, how that started. That's just pure being spoiled. That's just pure entitlement right there, where it's like, well, if it's possible, then it's okay. Except it's not okay, and we're going to get that here really quick. I'm going to read the rest of this comment. We abide by the rules in a way that lets us get more practice time. So the funny thing about this is that these comments, they admit that cheating creates an unfair advantage. They admit that right there. We get more practice time. We get more, like, you know, it's necessary. We need to do it, or else we lose time. We lose an advantage. So because of that, yeah, like, oh, we do it in a way that abides the rules. Except it doesn't. Illegally manipulate Pokemon. Use of external devices to modify or create items in a Pokemon or create items or Pokemon in a player's battle team is expressly forbidden. Forbidden to create anything. It doesn't matter if Pokemon's legal stats, even though that I completely argue with that all day long. Because there's no such thing as a legal Pokemon if it has been manipulated. If there's genning, PK Hex, whatever other programs and stuff, power saves, all that, none of it is legal at that point. It's all illegal. There's no legal, legit, illegal. There's legal, illegal. Legal is only Pokemon that have been created in-game without the use of external devices, without the use of save modification, without any modification of Pokemon. Changing a Pokemon's Pokeball or changing it from non-shiny to shiny, 100% illegal. Can't argue that. That is the rules. But people will argue that. People in the face of the rules will be like, nope, it's not rule breaking. And then they'll say like, yeah, Ruiz did that, but it's not rule breaking, and it actually is. So that's like the amazing, baffling thing about VGC, is that people will admit that he's hacking, but in their mind they think it's okay. So I used to have some respect for you. 6 minutes 37 minutes in, or 6 minutes 37 seconds in, lost that respect. You don't realize that we VGC players need time in order to get the correct EVs so we can do well. It makes it hard to believe that he's watched this video or had any respect of me or watched any of my other videos, because you don't realize, I make it clear that I realize this, and that's the problem. So we can do well. And that's another thing, we can do well. So without this cheat, without this advantage, you guys don't do well. That's admitted right there. You don't realize that we need practice tons with the team. That's exactly what I realized, and that's why cheating is an advantage. That's why even creating a possible Pokemon that doesn't have anything it couldn't get otherwise is an advantage. It's cheating because you give, you know, one player that's using hacks a set amount of time and you give a legitimate player the same amount of time, and that legitimate player is going to be underprepared. They're not going to have as much practice with the team. They're not going to know the matchups. They're not going to have the knowledge. They're not going to have all this other stuff that happens. So the breakdown of VGC is 40% team building, 60% practice. I agree that once you already have the team, that's about how it breaks down. That Pokemon is more about knowledge than anything else. And also just kind of, there's a good amount of luck in there as well. But there's hardly any skill to Pokemon, it's just knowledge. Once you know everything about all the things, then that's where it gets built up. So if we had to breed the Pokemon, then that would be 70% breeding, 20% practice, and 10% team building. So what you're saying is, with that amount of time, that the legitimate player is losing 70%. That sounds about like a right number. I haven't gone through all the exact numbers of how long it takes to breed a full team from scratch and all these other things in a while. So I don't know the hours and how long it takes off the top of my head. But yeah, so this is just completely admitting that it builds an advantage. So we need to hack. See, it's a need now. That's the amazing thing, that you'll even see VGC players calling it legit. That instead of the legal, legit, illegal little bubble circle thing, people are just calling it legit now to gen Pokemon and cheat. What stupidity. I've never heard anything as stupid in my life. People saying that hacking and cheating is legit. Breaking the rules is okay. Breaking the rules is legal, when clearly it isn't. Breaks TOS and it breaks Play Pokemon rules. Breaks Battle Spot rules as well that you can find on the Pokemon global link. I don't understand. So yeah, that's all this stuff going on right here. And then back to Pokemon Showdown, that's just what's been manifested from Pokemon Showdown. That's kind of like all this toxicity that's kind of boiled up from there, because you're just giving people what they want and then they're not going to work for it once they already have it. So like, yeah, if it was just the team builder and it couldn't export into Pika Hex and you couldn't battle with the teams, that's pretty good. But now that you have the battling, even then people say, well, anyone can use Pokemon Showdown. Technically not true, because like that's just something that if people don't know about it, it's an external resource that actually gives you direct applications outside of like stuff that's already known inside the game. So using Cerebi Bulbapedia to get stats, those are hard numbers. But using Pokemon Showdown, that's third party that infringes Pokemon and then gives you all kinds of stuff from there. But even let's say that, you know, we still have the same two players. So one player, he does all of his practice, he does all of his training on getting all of his Pokemon and stuff, and then he's still like getting the team building, the practice for VGC. He's still losing out on the time that it takes to breed that team in the end. So he's disadvantaged. We've already confirmed, proven beyond a doubt, that time is an advantage inside of Pokemon. And hacking 5 minutes versus 5 hours versus 10 hours, however long it takes to get the Pokemon team that you're looking for. That's the unfair advantage right there. So that time's lost, and that's a big problem. So Pokemon Showdown, it's got to go. VGC would have a pretty rough time. There'd probably just be another like team builder or simulator that pops up, but they'd all have to go away. But then that just encourages more hacking, because you can still make Pokemon inside of Pika Hex. Pika Hex tells you what is VGC legal, what you can get away with hacking, hacks your Pokemon that can't be detected, because the hack checks have been reverse engineered by the hackers and stuff. It's kind of crazy how disgusting Pokemon has gotten, and how disgusting these people are. Just these immoral wastes of people that think cheating is okay because they're so blind by their own idiocy. It's truly amazing. So when we go down to all that, it's like, yeah, then that means there's going to be more hacking, because instead of testing on Showdown, you're testing inside the games, you need the hacking programs to do it. It just all needs to be taken down. I think it's almost too little too late. Like, Pokemon Showdown needed to be taken down a lot earlier, once Michael had a Twitter and you could find the person making Project Pokemon PK Hex. That needs to be taken down as well. Nintendo, like, people say Nintendo's not trying. I mean, they're patching Homebrew. They're patching all these exploits. It's just hacker cat and mouse. They come up with something new, they rush it out. It makes it to where there's a lot of Pokemon that are now illegal, and you just can't stop it. So, I mean, you gotta do the takedowns. You gotta threaten legal action, or else it's just going to keep happening. And Pokemon Showdown needs to go. PKX needs to go. All this other stuff needs to happen. And the problem is YouTubers as well. I've already done videos about that, but I mean, if they're using for a draft league, if they have like a team that's like, oh, I hacked, but it's only for draft league. No, there should be no cheating in Pokemon. There should be no hacking in Pokemon whatsoever. What is so hard to understand? Because then that's teaching your audience, oh, it's okay if I cheat to play with my friends. And then they're going to realize, well, I don't want to spend 5 hours to rebreed this Charizard that I already hacked into battle with my friends. I'm just going to take it to the battle spot anyways. So then that just mainstreams cheating. Because then people go, well, it's legal. You know, that's what the YouTubers say. It's like, oh, it's legal. That's for their own greed. The YouTubers, they join the team so they can make content quicker, and then they can make more money that way instead of actually doing the work. And then it's just complete, it's either like a hypocrisy, like do as I say, not as I do. So I'm allowed to cheat, but you're not because I'm an entertainer. That's stupid because being a YouTuber doesn't make you anything special. So it's all about greed. It's about destroying the community. It's about ruining these people, making them immoral, making them think cheating's okay for your own gain, which is absolutely disgusting on all parts, and then just mainstreams that throughout the community. I'm the only one that's like, hey, don't cheat. I'm the only one that's massively vocal. I'm the only one that's, I don't give a fuck if you leave. Like, if you unsubscribe because I say cheating is wrong, I don't care about you. But no, that's money to the other YouTubers. That they would rather make the community worse and themselves richer than making themselves worse and the community better. So, or like themselves worse off, you know, themselves lose views and money and to have a better Pokemon community. I'm the complete opposite. And you don't see that anywhere else in Pokemon, which is super upsetting. So that's kind of it, guys. I hope you all enjoy the video. This is one of those videos where it's like, yeah, I guess it's kind of enjoyable when you think about Showdown getting shut down and then the community maybe getting better from it. But other than that, there's a lot of unfun, not great stuff going on right now in Pokemon. That's kind of where we stand. So guys, enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.